I want to do another video about nerve pain because mine's dominating my life right now, and I've been really working hard to understand it, heal it, work with it, fix it. And I've been noticing a lot of things with it. So one thing that I've always done to help myself is reflexology and like trigger pressure points, right? If you can do those different sort of body works, it's going to help your nerves. But it's a lot more than that. And, you know, they tell you to exercise, they tell you to stretch, but it's important to understand why and what's happening and what and how, and so that that you don't hurt yourself. Because I have been giving myself massages and trigger points and pressing on the trigger points, and if you don't do it right and you don't know what you're doing, you can cause damage, right? So I am going to explain the example of that because, you know, people like me who have been trying for decades, literally, to get treated, but told that the symptoms are in our head. There comes a time where you're like, okay, I'm not going to keep flogging this dead horse. Clearly, they don't get it. They don't care. They're not going to help. I'm not going to keep torturing myself to go backwards. I need to figure this out. And, you know, when it comes to the nerves and trauma, there are a lot of people who don't experience what I'm experiencing. But what I really want to reiterate that I've said in so many videos is this is now. I've had trauma my whole life, and the burning and tingling and zapping and seizing and spasming and all kinds of things that I have now, they've been from a build-up over time. So if you're watching this and you've had trauma for a while but you're not experiencing these things, please don't assume that your nerves are okay or that you won't ever experience these things. Because the reality of trauma is this. We're on fire, mate. Like, seriously. The human body inside, we are made up, the anatomy of us, we're just full of electricity. The neurons, the transmitters and pathways, it's basically like a car, a road, and every destination has electricity current charging through it. And that's what keeps everything in flow. But ours are out of whack. And they're surging and firing off, and they're not going to where they're meant to. And regardless of whether or not you can feel that, it's happening. And if you don't take care of your body and give your trauma the nurturing that it needs, that's just going to keep happening in the background until you do feel it. So I'm going to speak quite broadly here because trauma comes with so many symptoms and manifestations inside us. It's all different for every person, right? So I'm going to just rattle off a whole bunch of stuff. If you have trauma and you've had it and you've been going to the doctors, right? And you've been getting all these diagnoses, I want you to think about how many pills have you tried? How many doctors have told you that you have all these fucking things and it's different to the last one? Or if you've been at the same doctor, how many things have they gone through that you have or could have? And how much has any of it worked? Has any of it even worked? Are you any better now than when you started seeing the doctor about it? Do you feel when you go to the doctor in your heart safe, comfortable, that you're going to be heard, listened to, taken seriously, respected, believed? When you go in with all these symptoms, right? So Maybe you are struggling with nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, you're bloating, got muscle pains or spasms. Maybe you have panic attacks. Your guts are ripping for no reason. Migraines, headaches, foggy brain, memory issues, sleep problems, problems with mood, anger, rage, dysregulation, depression, anxiety, OCD. Are you displaying traits of bipolar, ADHD, BPD, autism, PTSD? Have you been told that you've got like fibromyalgia, lupus, IBD? Just goes on and fucking on. Your immune system, how's that going? Would you believe that it's just all connected? Because our central nervous system is fucked. Our brain is fucked. Now, when you think of people on the spectrum who have actually got ADHD, autism, you think of people who have mental illnesses and disorders, the ones who have an actual handful and all these physical things, I'd be willing to bet money I don't even have on the fact they've got trauma. And at the core of all that is the CNS, the central nervous system. We are idling in fight or flight all the time. Anytime that we get triggered, those surges go, right? So every year, do you notice that your symptoms are different? And you're just in more pain with more shit going on? But have you noticed that all the people around you have got their 2 cents, their opinions? That you're just exaggerating, you need to do this, you try that. Have you noticed that when all 50 of them tell you that you need to do this and you need to do that, when you don't do what that one said or that one said, you've got guilt, or they're on your case and nagging you, and it's causing drama. You're being judged that you're not even trying, you're not taking care of yourself. You set boundaries, it's causing drama. Because people are used to you being available all the time. But actually, my nerves, because they've been so mistreated, untreated, exacerbated, ignored, dismissed, downplayed just for so long, whilst overstimulated, overworked, pushing through. Aside from all that electricity and the surges and everything misfiring and everything being out of whack, we have inflammation in our nerves. Stress is inflammation. Anxiety, all of that is inflammation. All of that affects our immune system. All of that affects our guts. If our gut is not okay, our brain is not okay. They're connected. When my nerves are peaking and firing and doing their worst, I can feel it spreading up the side of my body. And I know that as soon as it gets to my ribs, I'm going to start getting sick in the stomach. It's when it sets off the abdomen. So, sorry. I've been doing my reflexology and my pressure point work on myself, and I've been trying to stretch because my my hips are locked, and my thighs are so tight all the time. And I've been doing these stretches that actually, when I push to a certain point, my thighs click and crack, and they're just so stiff. And I've been cracking my knees because I've had so much of this. Oh, they just did it then. My knees have been stiffening up. And the area of my foot, I don't know what it's called, hang on. The saphenous nerve L3, L4. It's the one that controls the leg from the spine and everything, but it's all sensory. It's not, I shouldn't say control, sorry, it's sensory. So basically those parts of the foot on where the arch is, I've been massaging there because I can feel block and knots there. And I don't know if I was doing that or if what I did to my knee, because I was cracking my knee on my right leg, and when I cracked it, I had this sensation go through like, holy shit. It was the same sensation that went through it when I had an osteochondroma, which is a benign tumor, just like a bit of extra bone, that was growing on my knee in 2007, and because it got knocked into the muscle and pierced it, it blew the muscle up. There was all this fluid. They put a catheter, and when they took the catheter out of the knee, they drag it out like slowly out of, you just feel it going over everything, and you just like, oh my god, I'm gonna pass out. And it was that sort of sensation. However, I was also massaging the arch of my foot because it was so sore. Well, I've gone to get up, and as soon as I put weight on my foot, I had this shooting pain go up my whole leg until right to my knee where I just cracked it, and boom, leg buckled. And for several days, I couldn't walk properly, so I refused to not walk. I've got a dog, I've got things to do. If I don't use my leg, I can't have water or heat or do what I need out here, feed the pets. So every time I got up, I just kept, boom, like one of those fainting goats. And I had to figure out where exactly was the pressure and what it was doing as to what angle. And for a few days, I was actually just dragging my leg like this so that I wasn't putting pressure on it. And I was massaging it. And every time I pressed on it, I could feel that there was like a knot, like how you feel knots in your muscles. I could feel it on the nerve, like it was stuck or compressed. And every time I massaged it, all these shooting pains were going up my leg. And it's like, that is happening. Why? My muscles are locking and getting so tight that if we've got inflamed nerves and then locked muscles, and then if your muscle locks on it, and then you got like knots as well, it's like a shit show. It's like a pretzel in there, man. So all it takes is the wrong angle or the wrong position for a knot, and it just compresses on your nerves. Like, I can feel when I'm trying to massage myself and relieve some tension, it's like there's nowhere that there's not a knot. I've got knots in my forehead. I've got knots in every single part of me, knots in my feet. And it's like these knots are pressing on our nerves. So as well as the firing and the inflammation, the stiffer we are, the more likely we're going to trap those nerves. So that's why exercise and stretching is so important, but also what we eat and put in our gut to help with inflammation. So diet is really important. All these things, calming down, even if you're someone who runs at a hot temperature, if you can put heat on your nerves at least a little bit every day, it's going to help them, because that's going to help with the inflammation. People who have untreated trauma basically have all this stuff just festering, and how it manifests and progresses and changes in forms in the system really depends on your environment, and everything you're doing to take care of yourself. So it's like we put everything off. We push through, oh, we'll take care of that tomorrow. But there is no perfect time. You have to stop and listen to your body. I am in so much pain out here. But if I don't push through and figure it out and learn and do all these things myself, I'm not going to heal, because we don't have a system that's helping us. We don't have doctors who even understand it. We don't have a system that provides any financial assistance for the stuff that does work. And the people who have what we need in private are all just business owners trying to make money. They don't actually care about our health and well-being. That's why it's so expensive, and they don't want to help get it into mainstream. So, it's a matter of, okay, let's fight that fight in the background, but also how do we take care of ourselves in the meantime? And right now I'm doing everything I can for my nerves, because I'm in excruciating pain and it's affecting every aspect of my life.